So we'll begin our class from where we left yesterday. You are given homework for writing the answer of 3 questions. First we'll discuss the answers and then after we'll continue from page number 50. So let's see the questions and then we'll answer it. What more does Bill say about Lutkins and his family? We are going to study about it. These are the questions. We'll try to find the answer after reading the text. Bill, actually he himself is Oliver Lutkins. I have already told you. Bill, who is the hack driver? Actually he is Oliver Lutkins, whom the lawyer searching for, and throughout the day he was with him, but he was unaware of him. He could not recognize him because he had never seen him. He did not have a photo of him. That is why, though he was throughout the day, he was with Oliver Lutkins, but he could not recognize him. And Oliver Lutkins befooled him throughout the day, the entire day. Does the narrator serve the summons that day? Surely no, because he could not recognize him. Who is Lutkins? Now the question is, who is Lutkins? I have told you, we'll try to find out further. But actually, Bill, the hack driver, is Oliver Lutkins, who had to appear for the court trial. And he had received so many summons earlier, but he did not respond. That is why the narrator had to come to this new town, New Mullion, some 64 kilometers away from the place he worked as private detective. His duty was to serve summons to so many people, and sometimes they even beat him up. So let's begin. I know that Bill's helpfulness to the young fellow from the city was not entirely a matter of brotherly love. The narrator understood he was not only for help's sake trying to help. That is not enough. He was helping him because he had his own interest. He was thinking of his own welfare, own benefit. Entirely a matter of brotherly love. It was not brotherly love. It was a matter of earning profit. I was paying him for his time. And if you remember, there was an agreement, $2 an hour. So for every minute he was being paid. That is why he was making round in the town with the narrator. In the end, I paid him for 6 hours, including the lunch hour. I had to pay him the lunch hour as well, because he was with me. And if I ask you how much he paid, total he paid $12. He paid $12. At what was then a very high price. And that $12 were very high price. But he was no more dishonest than I. But I was more dishonest than him. How? I did not pay. The expenditure was given to the company. I charged the whole thing to the firm. But it would have been worth paying him myself to have his presence. At least it would have been better for me to pay him for his presence. His cheerful country wisdom was very refreshing to a country boy like myself who was sick of the city. He was very cheerful, and his company was quite soothing for a person, for a boy like the narrator, who yearns for a country life, a village life, a countryside life. As we sat on the hilltop, he is telling us how they utilize their time. As we sat on the hilltop, looking over the pastures and creek which slipped among the trees. They were enjoying over the pastures, grave land, grazing yard, and creek, the place where there is slope which slipped among the trees. He talked of New Mullion. Then he was talking about New Mullion. He talked of New Mullion. What is New Mullion? New Mullion is the town where he is right now, and painted a picture in words of all the people in it. And he painted the picture of all the people in that town. He told about everyone in his town. He tried to tell about everybody. Why? Because his main motive was to spend more time with the narrator. More time simply means more money. Because there was an agreement, $2 an hour. He noticed everything, but no matter how much he might laugh at people, he was laughing at people. He also understood and forgave their foolishness. People were laughing. Actually, people were laughing not at him, at the narrator, but the narrator thought people were laughing at him, and forgave their foolishness. He forgave their foolishness. He described the minister's wife who sang the loudest in church when she was most in debt. Then he described about minister's wife who sang the loudest in the church when she was in debt. She was in plenty of debt. She had borrowed money from someone. He commented on the boys who came back from college in fancy clothes. Then he saw the boys while they were moving. They saw the boys coming from school, from college. He commented over them. He told about the lawyer whose wife could never succeed in getting him to put on both a collar and a tie on the same day. Then he told about the lawyer whose wife could never succeed in getting him. He also told about a lawyer whose wife could never succeed to put a tie and knot together in a day. That means she was not happy at all with her husband. He made them all live. Whatever he painted the picture, whatever he created, everything was lively, full of livelihood. It was live. On that day, I came to know New Mullion better than I did the city. That particular day I understood New Mullion was better than the city I was living in, and to love it better. And then I developed a sense of loving for this countryside, for this locality. Bill did not know about colleges and cities. Further the narrator tells us, Bill, the hack driver, doesn't know about school or colleges because he had not gone to schools or colleges. But he had travelled around a lot of the country. But he is a very good traveller. He had travelled all around the city, the town, and had a lot of jobs. Not only that, he had done so many jobs. He had pursued so many jobs. From his adventures, he had brought back a philosophy of simplicity. From his journeys, from his adventurous journeys, he had brought a life of simplicity and laughter. What we notice here, what type of character he was? He was a character of life. He was a character of excitement. He was a very happy character. He strengthened me. He gave me power. I was not discouraged at all in his company. Though I could not find the person whom I was searching for, but I was not discouraged. Furthermore, he strengthened me. He gave me some power, a hope. We left that peaceful scene of meadows. He says, we left that peaceful scene of meadows, pastures, where cattle grazed, and woods. We noticed what we saw: hills, creek, meadows, pastures, animals, woods, forest, and resumed our search for Oliver Lutkins. So once again, we started our search for Oliver Lutkins. Once again, I would like to remind you, Oliver Lutkins is the person who is all the time with him. But the problem is, he doesn't know about it. That the person with whom he is traveling throughout the day, actually he is the person he is searching for. And the person is searching for the same person, trying to befool him. We could not find him, but we could not find Oliver Lutkins. As I told you, how could they find? Because he was all the time with the narrator. At last, Bill cornered a friend of Lutkins. Cornered means to take a side. He talked with a friend of Lutkins, actually one of his friends, and made him admit what he guessed. He made him admit what he guessed. So what he thought, where could Lutkins be found? Oliver is gone out to his mother's farm 3 miles north. So that person, actually he told him to say so. That person told that, I hope he has gone to his mother's farm 3 miles away. In this way, he is making money from the narrator. We drove out there laying plans. So we started our journey to his mother's farm. And in between, during our journey of 3 miles, we were laying plans. We were planning what to do, how to catch him there. Whether he was heading over there, we'll go over there and try to catch him. So we were having such plans in mind.